What's up, everybody? Welcome to the John Brown Podcast. I am here on a Friday. I'm populating the show. I am populating the show across the internets. What's going on, man? As usual, on today's show, I got a little something I'm calling Even Stevens. I think you guys know what that's about. And I have a What If I Told You. I have a What If I Told You also to go along with obviously the one more thing that we're doing. I got a big time conversation for the one more thing. But before I get to any of that, I got to show y'all me. Bang. What's up? Welcome to the John Brown Podcast, man. I'm your host, John Brown. I'm here Monday through Friday. Today is Friday, August the 7th. And I do this thing from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock or whenever we get done. Whenever we get done, it's totally dependent on my co host. The Chat Pack. What's good with the Chat Pack, man? See, they already in here doing it. Yes, YouTube, don't fail us. Shout out to the Rigby family. Tito, how'd you know? Happy birthday. The wise man once said, this is very true. It is my birthday. I'll talk about that at the end. Man. Ask Technology, what's good, bruh? I'll talk about the birthday portion at the end. It's been a wild year. Some of you may or may not know. It's been a wild year. And I'll talk about that. I'll talk about this year in totality from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. We'll get into all of it at some point during the show. But as always, we continue to grow the show. And to continue to grow the show, we need to continue to have subscribers. The John Brown Podcast is on the road to 500 subscribers. We are over 350. Let me double check the number. Sometimes I forget because I'm so busy trying to get this thing together and bring it to y'all. Sometimes I forget to check some of the stuff. Yep, we're over three. We had 355, man. We're growing and rolling. So shout out to y'all for continuing to help build the show. Shout out to y'all for continuing to being a part of this thing. It's been an awesome experiment, and I can't wait to continue it going. As always, shout out to everybody at the Sporting Tribune, where your boy is the. I think my title at the Sporting Tribune is podcast manager. Podcast executive. That's what it is. The podcast executive. I'm going to get an email. They're going to send me an email, and I'll be able to tell you what it exactly is. But, I'm employed. Whatever. The show is being shown to you via Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Kick. So shout out to everybody. My Kick bot will show up at some point. I had a Twitch bot. My Kick bot and my Twitch bot may show up at the same time. You know how bots work. Bots are weird. What else we got here? Let me see. What? Merlin says, when you going to get a real intro song now that you're an executive? Merlin, you don't like the intro, dog? You don't like the intro? That ain't real? What, you want to hear some bars, some lyrics? What you want to hear on the intro song, dog? What you want to hear on the intro song? That's funny. That's a pretty funny comment. Yeah, Joe Rigby, I still owe you a phone call. It's coming. I promise. So yeah, let's dig into this. Let's talk about today. What if, and hear me out. What if out of nowhere, quarterbacks started playing 6 years of college football, and when it came time to playing a vanilla preseason game, glorified practice at the Hall of Fame game, they were actually ready to play football? What if I told you, after all the years of you can't start a rookie, these guys are now 25 years old. What do you mean? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Cardinals. I'm talking about the Cardinals. I'm talking about Fernando Mendoza being 22. I'm talking about the average age of the starting quarterbacks now are not what they once were. Carson Beck spent 6 years in college football. If Carson Beck isn't prepared to play in a preseason Hall of Fame game, which is the most vanilla game, vanilla coverage, vanilla disguises you could ever put a quarterback in, he's not going to make it in the NFL. They showed a very interesting. They ran a graphic last night at the for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, last night was the Cardinals and the Panthers, and they were doing the Hall of Fame game. The Hall of Fame game is the first game of the season where they get together in Canton at this tiny Ohio stadium, and they honor the NFL Hall of Fame class this year, headlined by Drew Brees, Luke Kuechly, Larry Fitzgerald, and somebody who was elected by the committee. Who I told you yesterday, those people should those people should go in the basement if a committee had to put you in. If the blue ribbon committee had to put you in because you've been waiting so long. Your ass belong in the basement. Hall of Fame, because you did play, you had a career, but you belong in the basement. I digress. What if I told you during this game, they ran a graphic of Jacoby Brissett as a starter, 1-11. And then Carson Beck went 14 for 16. The Cardinals aren't too far from San Diego. Phoenix, Arizona is not too far from San Diego, California. And trust me, I know the Zonies come all summer and just drive poorly around Southern California and treat our beaches like they don't live here. But shout out to Arizona. I'm a fan. Carson Beck, after 6 years of college football, these quarterbacks are not what they once were. Most of these high-profile quarterbacks, they run pro systems. They run highly efficient passing offenses. This isn't the day where you would draft a guy and he did nothing but turn around and hand the ball off. This isn't the days of run and shoot where you have no idea if the guy can make it. By the way, Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys out of Texas Tech. The NFL quarterback play has changed leaps and bounds. These guys are more prepared to play now than they ever have been. So what if I told you not playing Fernando Mendoza right out the gate was a fool's errand? Because I 100% believe that to be true. What up, Andre Prado? Get that money, boy. As Technology, you and I agree on this 1,000%. As Technology says, quarterback development has changed so much, have to start them young. I could not agree more. And anybody who tells you that they don't want to play their young quarterback tells me that that's job security. If you draft Fernando Mendoza number 1, Fernando Mendoza got to play immediately. I don't care who the other guy is. It literally doesn't matter who the other guy is. You have to play Fernando Mendoza immediately. Every pass thrown, every snap taken where he's not the starting quarterback is a wasted snap for your future. And in the NFL, the fastest thing you need to figure out is, can the coach and can the quarterback play? You got a brand new coach, you got a brand new quarterback. Start the timetable immediately. Can he coach? Can he play? He can probably offensive coordinate. Can he head coach? He can win a championship in college. Can he carry that success to the NFL? You need to find out right away. And for all the Raider fans who want him to sit, I don't understand you. For all the pundits, all the fired general managers who are on television talking about why you don't play Fernando Mendoza, that's why you're doing the same thing I'm doing, big fella. You have to play these guys. Carson Beck played 6 years of college football. Fernando Mendoza played 5, if I remember correctly. There's no reason, there's absolutely no reason with all the snaps these guys have taken at Indiana. That was a professional style offense with guys who made the pros on both sides of the ball. Carson Beck played against Ruben Bain every day in camp, every day in college. Carson Beck went against real big-time live NFL pass rushers who were in college that are now in the NFL. This matters, man. This matters. The quarterbacks did not used to look like Carson Beck looked last night. They didn't. It wasn't that he was 14 for 16, or I think it was 16 for 18. It wasn't that he was 16 for 18. It's how he looked. For a guy taking his first NFL snaps in a live action, he never looked rushed. He looked like he wanted to go. He looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball every time immediately. And again, I get it. I know it is not full speed week 1 NFL. But for his first taste, I would give him a full plate. I'm not finna waste no more time with Jacoby Brissett, who was 1-11 last year as a starter. Let me repeat that again. They put up a graphic last night that said Jacoby Brissett was 1-11 last year. What am I learning? What am I learning with Jacoby Brissett? I'm starting Carson Beck because if Carson Beck sucks, that means we're going to be bad. And if we're going to be bad, you know what we get when we're bad? One of these draft picks. One of these highly touted, one of these greatest generational quarterbacks. One of this quarterback class is one of the best we've had in 10, blah, blah. You'll get the best one. Because I think the Browns will be better. I think the Saints are going to be better. I can't look around the league and tell you a team that's going to go get 2 wins. I can't. I can almost tell you every team's quarterback. When I can do that, that means the NFL's in a very good place. I mean, I think the Jets are going to be back because I don't think Geno Smith is good, and I think Aaron Glenn he might not be a head coach. He just might not be a head coach from a preparation standpoint and from a game day activity standpoint. But when you're if you're watching this, if you're watching the way that NFL quarterback play has played out in consecutive years, this happened. C.J. Stroud had the greatest rookie quarterback season ever, followed up by Jaden Daniels being I think he was the NFC Offensive Player of the Year, and got the Commanders / Redskins, depending on how you're offended, to the NFC Championship game. What it do, HGW 1967? What it do, boy? So what if I told you NFL quarterback play wasn't what it used to be? And when you get a Carson Beck who's been in college for 6 years, who knows how to prepare like a professional because he's also been getting NIL money. So the money is not a shock to him. Most of these things, most of the shock to the system of these guys is the amount of money that they get and what they have to do on campus versus what they have to do in the NFL. Carson Beck had probably the most pro-ready experience. He had millions of dollars in a bank account already. He didn't have to go to class because he was been in college for 6 years. What it do? Appreciate you, fella. I try. I try to make sure when I look around, I don't see no pigeons. I only see eagles. People know what that means. Folks know what that means. If you're going to soar, man, if you're going to fly, if you're going to soar, make sure when you look around, you see eagles. You do not see pigeons. And those who know, they know. But yeah, this is where we're at. Jacoby Brissett was 1-11 last year. What you gonna do with that? Carson Beck can do that. You can't be worse than what the Raiders were last year. Fernando Mendoza has to build upon that. If it wasn't for an elbow injury, Carson Beck would have been a first-round pick. He would have stayed at Georgia. So, I get it. C.J. Stroud had the greatest rookie season ever, followed by Jaden Daniels. And by the way, Caleb Williams was in that class as well. Drake May was in that class as well. He was in the Super Bowl last year. Bo Nix was in that class as well. By the way, you know Bo Nix was in the AFC Championship, and if he doesn't break his ankles into 1,000 pieces, he's probably in the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, I know Patrick Mahomes was hurt, but the rest of these guys weren't. Josh Allen was available, didn't make it. Joe Burrow was available, didn't make it. Lamar Jackson was available, didn't make it. I mean, I could keep going down the list of the guys who you know and you recognize. These young guys, Caleb Williams gave you more remarkable plays last year than any rookie I could possibly remember outside of Michael Vick. Just must-see, oh my God moments. The tide is changing at the quarterback position, man. It really is. It really is. So what if I told you they were actually ready? What if I told you 6 seasons was enough? Carson Beck played 6 years. 6 years of college football. That's bananas. That's some Chris Winkie shit. You all remember Chris Winkie? I think Chris Winkie entered the NFL at 25. How old is Carson Beck? let me how old is Carson Beck? Carson Beck's 24. Carson Beck is 24 years old, man. Now, I told y'all on this show, I saved the Padre conversation for later because sometimes people at work and sometimes people get tied up and they can't get here right away. So I started doing different topics when the show starts just so I can make sure that I save space for the people who are going to participate in the chat pack who want to hear Padre conversation. So let's get into some Padre conversation. Wait, where's my? No, that's not it. Breaking even Stevens ain't gonna work, buddy. Breaking even Stevens ain't gonna work. Last night's effort was good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not about to shit on the effort last night. I thought Walker Buehler 6 innings and 4 innings and I think it was 76 pitches. I thought that was, he hung in there. He gave you what he could. He didn't throw the game away. They left with the lead, but he only gave you 4 innings. Estrada came in and was great. Morejon came in was great. We already know what happens when Mason Miller gets the ball. Period, end of story. But that's not good enough. What you needed from them in this series was a series win, a 3-1 series win. You walked out with the same energy you walked in with, a split. You walked out still down the game. You walked out of Arizona still down the game, and the game that I'm more, pissed about was today's Friday. I'm more pissed about Wednesday's game than I was excited about yesterday's game. Because this kid that turned into Nolan Ryan, that shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. Mize shouldn't have given up that many runs. So yesterday was a little more upsetting to me than Wednesday's loss was more upsetting to me than Thursday's win was satisfying. At 60-56, they are in a solid place. I'm not, and I could give you some more of what if I told you on the Padres. I don't think what we saw yesterday, I don't think that is indicative of what they're going to need to win going forward. This series was not a positive reflection on what we want to see going forward. This series felt like all year. This series also, by the way, this series followed the formula. They had a low-scoring game that they lost. They had a high-scoring game that they won. They got blown out, and then they won in one of the games. It follows the formula. This is what they have to break. You got to start dominating some of these teams. And what the Padres have coming in now, I'm going to read off to you. Even though what I've seen from Jackson Merrill, who's now at I think Jackson Merrill's at I think he's batting 228. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check it. I think Jackson Merrill's now batting 228, something along those lines. Jackson Merrill is now batting. I'm sorry, what? 241. Another 2-hit game yesterday. Knocked in another RBI. My point being, and sorry it took me so long to find that, but my point being this: the guys you're paying are starting to hit, and you have Houston coming in the building. You have Houston coming into Petco. They're first in the AL West. They're 59 and 57. You should beat them. There's no reason whatsoever the Houston Astros should leave Petco with a series win. You are better than them. The Padres are better than the Astros. You have to leave this series, and you have to welcome Milwaukee come Monday, winning 2 out of 3, ready to play a lights-out playoff game. I don't know what's going on with Gavin Sheets, to be honest with you. Couldn't tell you. But he's in the he's 212 now. He's 212. Somebody's always 2-something. 210, 220, 200. At all times somebody on this roster who's taking an active amount of at-bats. Right? Like, these are the bats that we were screaming for Ryan O'Hearn to get. These were the at-bats we were screaming for Ryan O'Hearn to get. And if Gavin Sheets is hurt, sit down. Don't gut it out. We ain't paying you enough to gut it out. Manny got to gut it out. There are certain players on this team, buddy, they got to gut it out. If it's true what you guys are saying, if it's true that what the chat pack is saying is that Sheets has plantar fasciitis, bro, sit your ass down. Put your feet up. Okay? Go to the massage place where they put them little things on your feet. Y'all know what I'm talking about in the mall? Where you can put like they give you all the pressure points on your feet. Go to Mission Valley. They got one. Send Gavin Sheets to Mission Valley. Work on that plantar fasciitis, bro. Ain't no way, fam. Ain't no way. The kiosk will fix that. Put your feet put your feet in the water. Let the goldfish nibble at your feet. It's unacceptable. Too many things this season has been unacceptable. And what we cannot have, what we don't want as viewers, what we don't want as fans, what we don't want as spectators is to look up and see these dudes falling back into the tendencies that got them this far behind in the wild card to begin with. The Cubs are on fire. The Phillies trading for Luis Ariz has seemed to re-energize them. He had multiple hits in every game he's played for them. So as we're watching, as we're all sitting here watching this, as we're all sitting here watching another Padres season, watching another series where it just feels like you're there, but you're not there. Yesterday was a full exit. This series was Peloton Padres. The Padres Diamondback series was Peloton Padres in full effect. It had everything. It had high scoring wins, it had high scoring losses, it had low scoring wins, it had low scoring losses. going nowhere. You're one game behind the wild card. You could have been able to leave this series and never look back. But now you chasing. Now you still chasing. You're still chasing. You guys can't be satisfied with this. I think we've all been vastly disappointed by the 60 and 56 Padres. That's 116 games. We running out of games. We running out of games, man. That means we are less than 50 games. So that's 116 games. We are less than 50 games away from the season ending. That pressure, if that pressure doesn't produce diamonds, it's time to do something different next year. And I don't mean general man. I mean it's time to reface this thing. Because what you will now know at the end of this year, because by the way, the ownership is supposed to be approved on the 19th. What you will now know by the end of this year, one, you need new pitching. Yu Darvish is either retired or on the pup list. Yu Darvish is either retired on the pup list, bro. We're not gonna see him again. It feels like we're not gonna see Joe Musgrove play any meaningful baseball. I know he had a rehab start. I know he did. Nick Pivetta apparently is stopping baseball activity. This is according to the manager. This is according to the manager, man. This ain't me. I'm not making this shit up. We all watched him pout off the mound. Graham says there's 46 games left. That sounds like solid math. So, look, man, we can keep watching this and we can keep hoping. But over the last 46 games, if you don't look up and this team's 26-20, you outside looking in. After the Peloton Padres have pretty much written us into place, do you believe they can go 26-20? What y'all think their record gonna be over the final 46? Because to me, 26-20 sounds about right. Will that be enough? Will 6 games over 500 be enough for them to jump the Diamondbacks from here on out? Because I don't think they're going to jump. I don't think they're going to jump the Phillies because I think the Phillies are going to take off. The Cubs aren't coming down. So whatever happens after this, they got to go up. And this is what they got. Let's just go through the next 4 series. I spoke about them being better than Houston, so they got 3 against Houston starting tonight. It's Robbie Ray against something named Blanco. Then you got Michael King. This is how you want it to line up. You got Robbie Ray and you got Michael King. That should win you the series. And then Milwaukee comes to town for 3. When you got Mize again, Bueller, and Ray, that's what it says. I don't think that's going to happen. But, because that's what's that? 1, 2, 3. That's a 4-man rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 4-man rotation. That ain't going to work. But you got Milwaukee coming in for 3. Milwaukee is the best team in the Central. It's going to be monumental that you do a great showing. Over the last 46 games, what do you guys think the record is going to be? I'm going to give you 26-20. Let me type it in the chat. Let me see. 26-20 over the final 46. That's what I think it's going to be. What up, Coach? VC, I said over the next 46, not the entirety of the season. I mean, you probably add that on. But give me your numbers over the final 46. Don't give me just your total on the season, VC. WVC. Come on, bruh. What up, Raiders versus everyone? We talked about Fernando Mendoza, dog. You missed it. Shout out. I had somebody ask me why I'm always drinking beer during the show. This is a root beer. So this root beer was on sale. Whoa, WVC 30 and 16? Wow, okay. So this was on sale at Costco for like $7. A 12-pack of these were on sale. Bruh, I got 2 cases. It's become my show drink. I did know the record during COVID season. Facts. That's where Brown Facts came from. And since then, Brown Facts has existed. David P., let's get a root beer sponsorship. I'll accept any root beer sponsorship. By the way, I'm working on a sponsorship, by the way. The show, okay, Tito, 26 to 20. I believe we will have a sponsor by next week for this show, courtesy of y'all. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all for being a part of this show and helping build the show, man. Somebody want to sponsor this show, which is crazy when you think about it. But it's because of y'all. Y'all show up. Y'all energetic. Y'all have fun. Y'all comment. We go back and forth. So, yeah, man. Shout out to sponsors. One on the way. Maybe. We'll see. But, yeah, breaking even ain't enough. Breaking even ain't enough. That's what we're talking about right now, WVC. Houston, who you're better than you should be. You got 3 against Milwaukee. You got 3 against Cleveland. You got 3 against the Mets. You got 3 against Minnesota. You got 3 against Pittsburgh. You got 3 against Tampa Bay. And then 3 against Cincinnati. Look, man. By the way, they got the Yankees at home in September. I might go to that. I might make my Petco Park. I might make my triumphant return to Petco Park during that Yankee series, dog. I can't even lie. 26 and 20 should be enough to get in. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, as I look down the schedule, man, I might show up. I might show up against the Yankees. I ain't gonna lie. I might show up for a 3-gamer. A little Sunday 110 match ain't gonna hurt nobody. I think that's the one I'm aiming for. Holla at your boy at the game. But yeah, Houston, Milwaukee, Cleveland, New York. The next 12 games. I need 7 and 5. I need 7 and 5 in the next 12 games. I don't think Dodger fans are. We don't necessarily. If you notice, we haven't talked about the Dodgers much at all in here because they're going to win the division. And by the way, this skid that they're on, they can do this. They can do this 100% with the skid. Listen to this. Watch this. With the skid, the Dodgers are still 8.5 games ahead of Arizona. They're still 9.5 games ahead of the Padres. They're 24 games ahead of the Rockies. So again, for the Dodgers to have to worry about their position in any way, shape, or form, they have to lose pretty much 3 straight weeks of games. Because the Diamondbacks aren't going to win 3 straight weeks of games. The Padres damn sure ain't going to win 3 straight weeks of games. So for every game that the Dodgers lose, every other game, the Diamondbacks and the Padres are going to lose one. So they would have to basically lose the entire month of August. That's not going to happen, man. That's not going to happen. They're still going to win the division. They didn't lose 20 straight. People talk like the Dodgers lost 20 straight. Dog, they lost 6 straight. You know how many times the Padres have lost 6 straight this year? You know what I mean? Again, I will remind people, at one point the Cubs lost 16 of 20. At one point, the Red Sox lost 16 in a row. They're the two hottest teams in baseball right now. So Biggie done checked in. Biggie says, "Sup, JB? You are understated. You are underestimating the D-backs, and the Padres did well with the split with them. And the Astros are a very good team, especially late since they're getting healthy, and the Jays can't get Altuve out. Well, that getting Altuve out is not my problem. I'm not saying that I'm not saying the Astros aren't good. The Padres are better. On paper, they're better. Record wise, they're actually better. So to me, I'm expecting 2 out of 3. Period. Taking your trash can to the game, David P. They're never outliving that, by the way. They can have all new players. They're never outliving that. And you know why they're never outliving that? Because Rob Manfred didn't punish them. That's why they're never going to outrun that. That's never going anywhere. That's never going anywhere. Period. Period. Period, bruh. So yeah, Padres got to do better. Biggie said this stretch of their schedule is going to show you if they are a contender or pretender. Facts. Because there's some teams in here you got to beat. There's some teams on this schedule you have to beat. You have to beat New York. You got to beat Cleveland. You got to beat Cleveland. That's just my opinion on where I stand on all that. Some of these teams, you got to beat them. Those are a couple teams you got to beat. They're working on their underdog narrative. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Nobody making that much money as an underdog. That sounds crazy that you would say that. Come on, David. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Let me get this out of the way because I want to clear something up too. So the BR Celebration of Life, Monday, August the 10th, on the American Legion in Encinitas for old people, 210 West F Street, Encinitas, California 92024. Kickoff is at 5 p.m. The Celebration of Life starts at 5 p.m. Now, don't get this confused with BR's actual funeral. That is at the Rock Church. So, when you have a person who has touched so many people, a lot of people want to share and how they celebrate them or how they pay their respects. This is a celebration. Hopefully there will be few tears and there will be lots of alcohol. Okay? Few tears, lots of alcohol. On the 22nd at the Rock Church, there should be no alcohol and lots of tears. It's the difference between these two things. August 10th would have been Billy Ray's 65th birthday, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere in there. But it's his birthday. August the 10th is his actual birthday if he would have made it to see another year. That's what we're celebrating, as if he will be there in spirit. Okay, his funeral, 22nd. Just so we can clear that up, because that's a misconception after something on Facebook. Shout out to Coach. I hope you do pull up, man. I hope everybody pull up, because it'll be me, Scott, Alex, Linda. We're gonna have a lot of mics. It should be a lot of mics there. We're doing a live podcast. I'm pretty sure we're doing a live pod. What else? One more thing. Where's my one more thing? So one more thing. I like to talk about excellence. I don't like to talk about the controversy of a sport. I like to talk about the doing of the sport. I like to talk about the people hooping. I like to talk about the people putting in work. You hear me? I like to talk about the people putting in work. What I'm about to show you is somebody putting in work. Not talking, putting in work. Not letting, the internet run different ways with conversation, putting in work. Look at this defensive stop by Asia Wilson. Now, you don't have to like WNBA basketball, but at the end of every game, if at the end of any game, in overtime, you have the multiple time MVP against who people swear is the best player in the league. One is a center, the other one is a point guard who appears to have, according to people, limitless range. Asia Wilson is the most dominant player in women's basketball because she plays both sides of the ball. Case in point, the start of this play. So yeah, there you go. I don't want to talk much about that. When an MVP makes a statement like that, I just like to show it. Because the internet loves to talk about, Caitlin Clark and this, and she's being fouled, and the game's on the line, buddy. She missed 2 free throws, which led to overtime, and then she made her 8th turnover of the game, getting stopped. Yeah, but getting a home run off the head of the outfielder was hilarious. Now, one more thing. One more thing. The last thing. Today's my birthday. Today's my birthday, and normally I don't talk about my birthday. I work on my birthday. I'm here working now. I want to have a quick conversation about something. On my birthday, I'm 45 years old today. I still have my hair. Kind of. So, on my 45th year, I had my 5th child. I got canceled by social media, particularly Mexican people, but, people are people. I bought a house. I built a shed on the side of said house. Became an executive at another company. And I started my own podcast, which led to the position at the other company by that person seeing me do something that they want done at their company. So I'll tell y'all this about this year, 2026. My 44th year on Earth. I will share this information with y'all. This is what I learned in my 44th year. Life is whatever you make it after you wake up. Thank you, AMAC. You can have whatever day you want to have. Yesterday is not today, and today is not tomorrow. Whatever you want life to be for you, you are in full control of it. I have had one hell of a year. And I have to tell you, with everything that happened in my life this year, I couldn't be in a better place. I have a extremely stable home life. I have beautiful, healthy children. I have a job and an industry in which I am passionate about, and that I am growing in a completely different direction that I never saw coming. But such is life. When you get thrown a curveball in life, what do you do about it? What do you do about it? A lot has happened to me this year. A lot has happened to me this year. But the only way I was able to keep moving forward is because I kept showing up. No matter what. No matter what. I kept showing up. I would give that same advice to anybody else. Just keep showing up. Period. Keep showing up. When it's hard, keep showing up. When it's easy, keep showing up. When there's no one there, keep showing up. When it's crowded, keep showing up. When it's a short trip, keep showing up. When it's a long trip, keep showing up. Because the showing up isn't about you. I'm sorry, the showing up isn't about them. It's about you. A true test of your character is how you behave and how you operate in times of toughness. That's what character is. That's who you are as a person. So regardless of what happens to me, I will continue to show up. Because that's what I know how to do. I show up and then I do whatever I need to do, whatever that day calls for. You're in charge. Never forget that. No matter where you are, if you can hear this message, no matter where you are in charge. Show up, be responsible, be accountable, and everything will go your way. Maybe not in the way that you think at the point in time it's going. But I tell you right now, man, you show up, something positive will happen for you. You wake up and you show up, you be there for the people who are in your life. The right thing will happen for you, man. Failure is just a lesson on how to win. It may be the ultimate teacher, but you cannot have success without failure. You cannot truly understand joy unless you suffer some form of pain. You know? It will never feel good to be home unless you really spend a hard day's work somewhere. Keep showing up. Keep working hard. Keep being present. And keep fighting, man. That's all you can do. Control what you can control. You feel me? Y'all know what time it is. I don't have any licensing to play any birthday songs. If I could, I would, trust me. I literally would play. They ask me what I do and who I do it for. How I come up with the shit inside the studio. All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. I was looking for that. If I die, bury me inside a stripper club. I don't want that, but shout out Tito. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody who has been with me on this year, this journey. Shout out to the people who kept coming to this pod. Shout out, where is it? Hold on. Here it is. Okay. I keep this by my desk somewhere. I'm gonna put it in the back. Shout out to everybody who came out to the golf outing. I literally still have it, so that's dope. It's gonna go up somewhere back here. I promise. Shout out to everybody who witnessed this, understood who I was as a person, and kept it pushing with me, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate that. Shout out to Team 99. It's a lot to come. A lot to come. As a wise man once said, we just getting started. See y'all Monday.